What's up, everybody? I want to apologize in advance. The technology gremlins got us this week. We lost audio on about the last 20 minutes of the episode, so we had to cut it a little short. We will be back better than ever next week. For now, just enjoy this really shortened version. It's going to tail off into nothing, but it's a good episode up until then. So you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next week. All right, we're going.
Yeah, ready. TikToks galore.
Let me cough really loud in the deal before we start. With hey.
That's how you motorboat the cough.
That's how you motorboat life, motherfucker. That's how you motorboat life.
Do it again. I need an example. That was a weak motorboat.
It was.
You really
I'm not a good motorboater because the whole thing is my head's all jacked up. So when I shake my head really hard, I'm going to be dizzy for 10 minutes.
Oh,
so.
you got to go.
There it is.
That's a motorboat of life. Yours was like a tugboat.
Yeah.
We're tugging along.
It's tough. So what's also tough that we're filming at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's tough.
That's 2 days in a row, actually.
Yeah.
2 days in a row.
Why has this become the new norm?
My rotational schedule.
Yeah.
You're a champ, though.
Nah.
No, you are, because most people would be asleep right now, especially you work a day shift.
Sure.
And then you're like, well, hey, I'm on your time, bud. And I was like, well, my time's a little late.
That's all right.
And we had some people cancel on us, so things got a little jumbled up. Got a little behind.
We're going to figure it out. It's this is what every episode is.
Every single time.
Every single time.
Every single time.
It doesn't change.
It's crazy. Because the whole time we're waiting on this person to show up, we noticed some new things that, we can figure out and how to promote ourselves a little bit better and get ourselves out there. So really it worked out.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
But hey, it is what it is,
They say nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Well, they're probably right on most of that. I'm going to have a long day tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be rough. Well, today's going to be rough.
So we're renovating the house.
We are almost done. It's been a long process. A lot of things have been happening in the past couple of weeks. I went to the ER. That was a big one. Then baby was sick. Wifey was sick. And then it's just work. I've been...
Rona?
No.
No?
No Ronas.
Just sick.
I think Rona's gone.
Yeah. World War III ended it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. As soon as World War III pops up, it's COVID isn't even a thing.
Yeah, COVID's not even a thing
Not
anymore.
like it was a thing before anyway.
No.
Media expunged it. But...
Sure.
Yeah, no, Monday, we're putting it on the market. Getting the pictures.
So you're renovating to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, so when we bought the house, I don't know if we've talked about this before, it needed some work. It was built in the 50s, I think, but it didn't look like it had ever been updated.
Right.
And we've put quite a bit of money in to fix it up, and we figured we'd live there between 5 and 10 years.
Yeah.
Then this opportunity pops up out of nowhere. My parents are like, we're going to sell our house. We'll give you a great deal so you can move to where you want to be.
Right.
And then we will build a house in the same area.
Right.
So now you'll have my brother, my parents, and me all in the same area.
So you're going cult style.
Of course.
You're going the Shaw's on the street.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not the street. It was like a little area.
All right.
Couple blocks in between everybody.
Sure.
But we're a tight-knit family, and that's how we all want it. So it worked out really well.
Man, I have friends that are like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call them friends. We're acquaintances now. We were friends back in the day. We're acquaintances now. But there was a girl that I knew that her whole family lived on one street. Like, it was just, they were literally like, this house was grandma's, this house was dad's, this house was hers, this house was brother's, and I'm like, what is going on?
That's a little too close. I need some blocks in between.
I can tell you right now. I don't mean this rude towards my family. We need more than a couple of blocks.
I feel you.
I do anyway.
So so this is something I didn't know. I thought how close our family was normal. Apparently, it's not that normal. No, most families are not as close. Like, even with our cousins, we're super close.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you know most. Well, I don't know most, but like a lot of my cousins work in the same place I work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like
I saw 2 of my cousins like maybe 6 or 8 months ago, but that was the first time I'd seen one of them in probably 8 or 9 years.
I see my cousins almost every day.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I got cousins south of here. I guarantee you I haven't seen them in years.
Well, to that point,
years and years.
The person who showed up with our friend was actually my cousin who I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an extended cousin. He's not super close or anything, but he shows up like, I introduced myself because I don't even remember him. He's like, we're family, right? I was like, oh, shit, you're right. We're family.
It's weird, man. It's not because our family is like dysfunctional or anything like that. It's just that's not us, man.
That makes sense.
Like everybody is spread out, and like nobody, like, it's weird. I'm not saying this in a bad way. I'm saying it's just because geographically, it's a very cliquey group.
Yeah.
Because this little group lives here, this little group lives here, and this little group lives here. So, like, these people hang out with these people hang out with these people hang out with these people, but nobody hangs out together. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, like I said, it's geography. It has nothing to do with, like, oh, well, I don't like them, and I like them, but I don't like... It's not that. It's just geography kind of... We're spread out literally all over Texas, so it's not sense. It's not like you can hop, skip, and a jump over there.
Definitely not. And so a friend, I consider him a pretty good friend. He worked with us, and he got a job opportunity at the same company up in Kansas.
Yeah.
And he was asking me if he should take it, and I was like, "Well, what does your family think about it?" Yeah. And they were like, "They're 100% for it." They're like, "Go for it." I was like, "Dude, if that's what you want to do, and your family's okay with it, 100% go for it." If it were me, I told him, I was like, my family's all here. Doesn't matter. I don't think I could do it regardless. Just because, well, first off, my mom would kill me because she wouldn't get to see my daughter, and she'd probably like slice my tires when the day I was trying to leave.
She's still a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, kidnap the kid.
Yeah, and that's both sides of our family. My wife's mom and my mom, and we can't go without seeing them, basically.
Right.
And we go a week without seeing them when I'm like on a certain rotation, and my mom will call me and be like, "I really miss you. How's my granddaughter?" Yeah. She's like, "I need to see her." I was like, "You can pick her up from daycare if you want, but there's no way I can get out of this state, and I really don't want to." That's the thing. Like, we're such a tight knit family. Like I said, it's not worth it for me.
It was tough on the grandparents because kiddo was actually born in College Station.
Yeah.
And it was even that being that far away, it was pretty tough on the grandparents. So that's a lot of the reason we came back here was just more grandparent things. And aside from that, my mother-in-law, or ex-mother-in-law, she offered us the deal we couldn't refuse.
Yeah, I heard about that deal, and I was like, I wouldn't refuse that either.
Yeah, so we came back to Waco. But it's even being an hour and a half away, it was tough because we had to make a lot of drives that
childcare is not cheap.
Want to make,
Yeah, childcare is not cheap, so your deal was the way to go.
But like I said, it's more just geography with our family, and even like my brother, man. My brother lives, 3.5 hours from here.
Yeah,
So it's not like it. And I say that I don't know. Like I said again, our family is just not really close knit because I'm saying this, and my grandma lives like right across town. Literally, I could drive there in 15 minutes. Yeah. Probably haven't seen her since last year. And I'm talking about January.
God dang.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're just not a close knit group. Never really have been. Like, we're a hey, what's up, and that's about it.
A lot of time for us is life gets in the way of just kind of going and enjoying your family, and there's nothing you can do about it. You got to pay your bills, right?
That's a lot of the things with me and my brother. It has nothing. A lot of the times, even me and my brother, it's not geography. It's just like he doesn't have 3.5 hours to kill coming down here. Neither do I. So
and on top of that, it's not just the 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
You got to spend the time.
Right.
And then do it again to go back.
Right.
So, it's a lot of time to put away.
And I'll give him credit. My brother probably makes more of an effort than I do to get here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, when we see each other, it's usually because he is the one that's like, I'll come do it. You know what I'm like? Oh, okay. Like, I really do try, but I've been down there a few times, but I just it's usually him that's making the effort.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. Like, it's always, and I apologize for being this way to my family, but it's not that I don't want to. It's just I'm always tired now, and on my days off, I just don't want to do anything. I just want to spend it with my daughter, And we'll go over to my parents and, you know, see them and stuff. But they're always, especially my brother, he's the one that he definitely puts in the more effort of trying to see me than I do him. But life gets in the way, man. And that's the hard part is life is short.
Yeah.
But you don't always want to just go. Yeah. I know some people do. No, I'm not one of those people.
I'm not at all, man.
Now, when I'm going. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm going to have a long-ass day tomorrow, and I got to be up in 4 hours, and we're still recording. Yeah. But
you
got to go.
Like I said, my brother, him living so far away really, like... But I say that, and again, we lived 2 miles apart at one point, and we saw each other the same amount of time.
Yeah,
it's just we just don't hang out, man. It's not.
Yeah, it happens.
But it's funny because our family, like my parents, are homebodies. Like you're never gonna catch them outside of their house. Like if you catch them outside of their house, it's like catching Bigfoot in the wild.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gotten down to the point where they order their groceries now. You know, my dad just swings in, picks them up, goes to the house. You know, like they don't even grocery shop anymore. Yeah. You know, and so that, like I said, it's seeing them out in public is like seeing Bigfoot in the wild. You know, it's just, and me and my brother have fallen into that same, like, outside of work, you're not going to see me off this couch. Like I'm not off this couch, not off this couch, but outside of this house, I don't leave these 4 walls, man. Like I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything. My brother, exact same way. Yeah. Like they don't do that outside of his kids play sports. You're going to see him at sporting events, and that's it. That's all my brother's doing. Other than that, he's at the house. And that's how my parents are, and it's just trickled down into how we are. So it's like getting us to all go somewhere is the – like it's like, whose house are we meeting at? And the other two are like, it's got to be your house. Like,
it's 3.5 hours away. Come on now.
Why don't we come to my place?
Yeah. That's kind of how I've kind of become that way too. Like I would rather people come to my house than me go to theirs. But it doesn't always work that way. And especially now with the kiddo, my kiddo. I'm going to call my kiddo now as well, by the way.
Yeah. It's the easiest.
Yeah, until she gets older, her bedtime's 7, so.
Yeah. Dude, having the 2-year-old shit, that's totally different.
Yeah. It throws things for, what the hell? Throws things for a loop because, you know, she gets home at 5:30 from daycare. Yeah. And you get an hour and a half with her. Well, in that hour and a half, it's all about her.
Yep.
Now, 7 o'clock, she's going to sleep. But you can't make too much noise after 7 o'clock because then she's going to wake up, and then that makes it hard to have people over. So, you got to pick and choose.
It was always funny. And even kiddo now, my ex-mother-in-law used to be, I don't know why she was so conscious about it, but she was like, if the kiddo went to sleep, she was like, hey, the kiddo's asleep. And she never, I still think to this day, she doesn't get, I'm like, you understand that child could sleep through a goddamn car alarm, don't you? Like, and I'm not talking about one outside. Yeah. I'm talking about you could throw one in the middle of her room and she's not going to wake up. Like, it's that kiddo has never been, even now to this day, she's 14 years old, dude. You walk in that room, you could march a band through the middle of her room and she would just, like, God bless, man. You don't wake up for nothing.
My daughter used to be that way. And then, similar instance, not the whole car alarm thing, but my in-laws came over and they brought us, we were putting up a bar, like the bar shelf on our wall, and my daughter was taking a nap. It was like middle of the day, and they brought this over. They brought their impact drill, and I'm like, we're gonna wait till she wakes up. Nope, they did not wait. They started going right at it with it. It's like it's the next room over with this impact drill, and she slept through the entire thing. Yeah. I was like, God dang, okay, I'm digging it.
You realize how resilient those little shits are whenever.
Oh yeah.
Even like you'll see them take a spill, man. You'll see them fall, and you're like, if I fell like that, it's 3 days off work.
It scares the ever living hell out of me though when she falls. Anything,
but they just bam, and they get up like, hey, what's up? Like, what the hell? Like,
yeah, but they'll cry, but it's more of because it scared them than it hurt them.
The shit out of them.
Yeah. And like 2 seconds later, she's good. She's running and going to play. Okay, cool. Let's go.
You're like that. For me, that's 3 days off work. Like it's a catastrophic fall, and like no.
It's more like for her. It's more of it scares me that she's actually going to be seriously injured, and then like, oh, thank God she's good. But like 10 seconds later, she does it again. I'm like, I'm having a heart attack, kid. God, I get that from my father too. Like it's just like we're like worry warts in a way.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing by any means, but. Get a heart attack real quick.
I think kiddo was, was she 7 or 8? Something like that. She was somewhere right around there, 7 or 8. She was at the park with her grandma, and thank God it was with her grandma because, man, if it was with me or her mom, everybody would have roasted us. But, like, dude, she was running around the park, and she ran up and jumped on these little things or whatever and, like, just took the biggest spill you've ever seen in her life and bounced her face off of like one of those metal, like, it is. Yeah. And from what I hear, the sound was pretty grotesque, and I was like, so she fell, started crying. My ex-mother-in-law runs over there, and by the time she gets her up off the ground, her eye is like out to here. Like, it was one of those things. It was like, holy shit. So they took her. They had to do all the little CAT scans and see if her orbital bones were broken. They said that her orbital bone wasn't broken, but she still to this day, her face is dented in. You can see where it dented it in. And when she turns in a certain angle, you can still see the green under her. It's like she has a permanent black eye. But it was crazy because her eye swelled up like a damn UFC fighter, dude. I mean, it just swelled up.
It's like the whole Michael Bisping eye.
Coincidentally, when this happened, my dad, that was the same week my dad had his motorcycle wreck.
Oh, man.
So when he went off the motorcycle, he smashed in the side of his face. And so, I mean, we're talking about just, scratches. And then he had the gigantic swollen, his whole face swollen, big black eye. So they had it on the same side.
Did you get a picture of that?
Oh, 100%. We've got them doing the the face off.
I dig it.
Both of them, gigantic black eyes. But yeah, like I said, they said it didn't break her orbital bone, but I was like, dude, there's no way it didn't break it because first off, it doesn't swell up that fast. If you don't break your orbital bone, it doesn't swell up that fast. And secondly, her face is still dented in. It's still,
to this day.
There's still a dent that you can visibly see when she turns and hits the sunlight. You can see her face dented in.
It's where Dana would be like, Dana White's, she's okay. She's a fighter.
Yeah, it was insane, man. She had the biggest. I told her, I go, kiddo, you beat me hands down. I've had black eyes, never had one like that. I mean, this thing was swollen all the way shut. It was gigantic, man.
I've never had a black eye. I've never really had any injuries per se. There's just one time that I can remember when I was in elementary school. It was a cold, wet, rainy day, and we went out to recess, and I had gotten out after everybody. And for whatever reason, I told myself I'm going to run directly at this pole, and then I'm going to stop, and it's going to look real cool. Why did I do this? I don't know. Wet and rainy. I took off towards this pole. I don't get what I was thinking. It's one of those things that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was in 2nd or 3rd grade.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But I remember. Yeah, exactly. I remember very specifically. I took off running. I tried to stop. Well, I didn't stop because my feet slid out from under me, and that pole just went right down the middle of my junk, and I just started screaming, and the teacher's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I slid into the pole and hit my junk." I don't remember exactly what I said, but I might have said balls. I don't know. And they're like, "Let's go to the nurse." They took me to the nurse, and the nurse put these fake shorts on me, and then she's like, "Here's an ice pack." Yeah. And I put that ice pack in my shorts, and I just sat it on my balls. My little 3rd grade self was like, "What did I just do?" It didn't make any sense.
I got almost the same story, man. I was in the 7th grade, and we had to wait on my mom to come pick us up from school. And there was out in front of the school, they have the where they close the parking lot off. It's like the metal railing or whatever. And so I was standing there, and one of the girls I had a little crush on when I was in the 7th or 8th grade, she comes walking out, and it was the same thing. I was like,
"She's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna be cool, man." Yeah. So I jumped up I was standing on top of the railing, and I was walking along it, and I was like, "She's gonna think I'm awesome. Look at this balance,
look at this balance.
She's gonna think I'm awesome." So I got to the end, and I went 1 foot, and I was gonna spin around. And so I went 1 foot and went to spin, and I just this thing split me right down the middle, dude. Just bam! And I hit it, and then just slowly fell off of it.
Slow, like in the movies.
Everybody, including her, laughed their ass off.
Oh my God.
I was like, no!
I guess the one thing I have on you, I was in 3rd grade, so they were not dropped at that point by any means. Poor you.
Yeah. I had my best friend in the whole world. So, I don't know what kind of sports you played, man, but so it's a harness. You put it on, and in the middle of your chest, it's basically a bungee cord.
Okay.
And then, so you have this one, and then the person in front of you, your partner, they have a vest, or they have a harness. And it's in the other side is hooked to their back.
Yeah.
Right? So they take off running.
Yep.
It stretches this bungee cord out, and then you take off running, and it forces you to run faster or bust your face.
Yeah, we've done that in track.
Yeah. So we never used these before.
Oh, God.
So he's standing on the goal line of the football field, right? And he's got it on his chest. My best friend has it on his chest. There's another guy. So he takes off running. My best friend still swears up and down this is the coach's fault. He will tell you to this day it's the coach's fault. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I was there. I saw it. Like, this guy takes off running. Now, you're only supposed to go maybe 20 yards. Yeah. And then take off behind him.
Yeah.
So the coach is standing there watching. This guy takes off running. He gets about 20 yards away, and the coach goes, go. And my buddy looks over and goes, go? And he goes, yeah, go. And my buddy goes, now? While this conversation is taking place.
Dude's still running.
Guy's still running.
Oh, no.
He's another 30 yards down the field by now. We're at the 50-yard line right now.
Jesus Christ,
even
that's a
I'm
bungee
looking
cord.
Going, that thing is going to break, And he goes, go? And he goes, yeah, go. And he goes, now? And he goes, yeah, now. And he goes, like, go? And he screams, go. And about the time he screams, go, you hear, kink.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you hear, kink. Like, that's the sound this thing made because it's a bungee cord coming back this direction.
Oh, shit.
Dude. I
can't finish the story.
I can still remember the sound of that thing hitting him to this day. It just, and so when it hit him, most of it caught him right here.
Yeah.
And then it wrapped around him. And so it wrapped around him, and the little metal that hooks onto the other end, it comes around and just insult to injury. And just goes, bam, and bounced off his nuts, dude. And he just goes, dude, the scream that came out of this guy, he screamed for 10 minutes.
Oh, my God.
So the scream was so funny that even the coach was like, it wasn't that he was hurt. It was the scream that was funny. So the coach kind of
deserved it.
He just looked and goes, no, coach, please, coach, my balls, coach. And so this is a track practice, right?
Yeah.
So it's the girls' track team, it's the guys' track team, it's everybody's out there, right? And this dude, he's so scared of what's happened to his ball bag at this point because this metal rod came around and slapped his nuts so hard that he just jerks them down in the middle of track practice and he's scoping them out. But his nuts swole up. I guarantee you they were the size of like a medium-sized orange. They were that big, and they were purple, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's not funny that he got hurt, but it was freaking hysterical watching this whole. It was like a Tom and Jerry movie.
I'll tell you why it's hilarious. Because he didn't fucking run.
Yeah, and he swears up and down. First off, he swears up and down that the thing was defective, and then he swears up and down. He's like, as soon as he said go, I went. I was like, bitch, I was standing right there. That guy all but pushed you down the fucking, like, go, dude. Like, but yeah, he'd go now. Yeah, now. Like right now. Yeah, now. And I was like, how many times you got to hear it, man? Like, but I'll tell you this. After everybody saw that, nobody used that thing ever again.
I bet they didn't. Nah, hard pass. Oh, my God. I wish I could have seen that. That would have been a story of a lifetime to tell.
I've never seen somebody get hit with a 50-yard rubber band. God.
There's a story. I tried to get my cousin on here tonight, but he has his kid, so wasn't able to make it happen. But there's a week time frame, where just our household went to shit.
Yeah.
We had the craziest things happening. And he'll tell the whole story really well. I'll give you just a quick
the Reader's Digest.
Yeah. So my cousin was living with us, Randy. He was living with us at the time, and our dogs had really bad fleas at the time.
Yeah.
And somehow they were only in Randy's room. Don't know how that happened, but they were pretty much just in his room. It's kind of cluttered in there.
Right.
Just because at the time, this is a long story. It was kind of a storage room, and then he moved in. We kind of started making it his room, but it's cluttered. So he's sleeping with me. Okay. He came to my room. He's sleeping in my bed. And that night, that room that we were sleeping in got really hot. It was during the summer. And so we had a big old box fan set up, and it fell off. I had it on my dresser. It fell off.
Right.
Yeah, and woke me up. I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck was that?"
Yeah, it's just this loud crash. Like, okay, well, put it back up. We're good. Go back to sleep. Then, hear this loud crash. Oh, the fan fell again. It was not the fan. Randy's like, "Hey, wake up, wake up." I was like, "What?" He's like, "I just punched out your window." In his sleep, he stands up and just punches out my window. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
What the fuck?
I was like,
why?
I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't know. I was asleep." He just punched out the window.
You punched out the. Why did you break the window, man?
Nobody knows. He was asleep. So he will tell the story fantastically. The next day, we're cleaning. He's doing something, and I'm about to start vacuuming. And apparently, there was this one malfunctioning plug that I didn't know was malfunctioning. It's just there in the living room.
Right.
So I go to plug in the vacuum cleaner, and sparks just go everywhere. There's smoke going up, and they're like, "Okay, well, we almost just burnt the house down."
Right.
And then that night, I guess Randy's coming from the bathroom or whatever, and at this time, my father's sleeping. He's sleeping on the couch that night because my mom has restless legs and she kicks a lot in her sleep.
Right.
So he's walking from the bathroom and he looks over. And this time, he looks over. For whatever reason, my father, in his sleep, jumps over the couch and lands face first on the floor.
Jesus, what's going on with your family, man?
I'm telling you, these couple days here was just the craziest thing that has ever happened. And the way he tells the story, my father looks up. What happened? Randy goes, "You just dove head first on the floor." Then my dad goes, "Why?" He's like, "Well, I don't know." It's just these couple days are just the craziest thing, and I want Randy to get on here so he can tell the story because the emphasis he puts on everything because he experienced it just so much better.
My old roommate came home one day, and he came home from work, and he walked in and looked like he literally looked like he was asleep when he walked in. Like he goes, "I'm so tired, man." He goes, "I got to go lay down and take a nap." He goes, and I go, "Yeah, cool, man." It was like 5:00 in the afternoon. You know, he was like, "I got to go lay down and take a nap." And he worked at a restaurant here in town. So he goes in there, lays down, goes to sleep. I was sitting in the living room watching TV. About 7:15, he comes barreling out of his room like his ass is on fire. Like comes barreling out of his room, throwing his work clothes on, just like buttoning his shirt up, pulling his pants on, like almost doing that one-legged hop through the, like throwing his stuff on. And I'm just watching this going, what the fuck's going on? Like, what is he doing? I'm like, anything that they called you from work for, it can, like, you don't have to do all this. Like, you can just get dressed and go up there. Nothing's that bad. And so he runs in there, brushes his teeth. He's like throwing water in his hair, kind of like throwing some water on his face. And I go, what the hell are you doing? And he goes, "I'm late." And I go, "Late for what?" And he goes, "I'm late for work." And I was like, "I didn't know you had to go back." And he was like, "Yeah, dude, I got to go to work every day." And I was like, "No, I hear you." I said, "But you've already worked." And he was like, he goes, "Man, I don't need you messing with me right now." Like he's just, pissed. "I don't need you messing with me right now." I was like, "Okay." And so he starts, like he's throwing stuff on. He goes, "I can't believe I'm late. I got to open up this morning." And I was like, I looked around. I go, "Hey man, what's happening? What's going on?" I go, what's happening right now? I go, "What time do you think it is?" He goes, "It's 7:20. I was supposed to be there at 6:30. I go, "It's 7:20 at night, Bubba." I go, "You just took a nap." And he was like, he turns around, like ready to kill me, and goes, "I told you I don't need your shit today," like that. And I go, "Okay," like that. And he goes barreling out the door, and I go, "See you, stupid," like that as he runs out. And he's just irritated to no end.
Yeah.
Jumps in his car, and I can hear him like as he goes out, and I go, idiot. And it was maybe 15 minutes later, he comes pulling back up, and he walks back in and goes, 7 o'clock at night. And I go, yeah, stupid. I was like, I tried to tell you that before you left. I was like, it's 7 at night. He goes, I thought I slept all the way through the night. I was like, you're a moron, dude. I was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, especially when there's a grown man sitting here on the couch going, what the hell are you doing? Like, what? But yeah, he did, my brother did that too. He did the same thing. He woke up one time and flew out saying he was late for school. And I was like, it's 7 o'clock at night, bud. What's going on?
I have woken up thinking I was going to be late. Like,
yeah.
Oh, shit. Then look at my clock. I was like, oh, I got another 2 hours. I'm good. Oh. I've never had that issue to where I've gotten out of the house. Like, oh, shit.
Hey, well, I'll give him credit. The only thing I'll give him credit for is 7 o'clock at night and 7 o'clock in the morning look eerily the same. You know, like outside. Yeah. So I can kind of get where he was at there. He goes, I swear I ran outside. I thought it was the morning time. I was like, kind of looks like morning.
I get it.
But I've never been so like out of it that I thought it was the next day.
I've never understood. Like, okay, so I've known people who fall asleep behind the wheel.
Yeah.
I never understood that. I've never been so tired to where I could not drive. I've been extremely tired. Like, I think I'm going to have, I could possibly fall asleep, maybe. But I don't get it. Like, no. Because I'm focused.
I'm the same way. I've never been asleep enough.
Or I'll just slap the shit out of myself.
Yeah.
I've done that a time or two.
Yeah. I was on a long trip where I had to pull over one time. Like, I just pulled over in one of those rest stops and kicked the seat back for a few minutes. But that I never have thought, oh God, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like,
yeah, I knew a guy. He fell asleep inside our town, and supposedly the story that was told, he made it like several blocks.
Yeah,
and then he veered off and ran into the church sign.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he ran right through the church sign.
There you go.
Yeah, beautiful Camaro. Beautiful Camaro.
What about the church sign? Was it beautiful?
It was.
No, it was.
R.I.P. After the Camaro went through it, it wasn't.
Yeah. God, there was something I was going to tell you about the. God, I can't remember what it was now. It was something about the sleep thing, and I totally lost it. I've never been a big sleeper as it is. Like, my daughter is the same way. Like, that was one thing I hoped I didn't pass on to her. I was like, get lots of rest, get it. It just doesn't happen.
See, I'm the opposite. I have to have some sleep, or my body starts breaking down.
Yeah, it's weird. We've never been big sleepers. It's never happened that way. Like,
I start getting sick and weak, and I can't do it. Like, my body has to get that sleep. I don't know what it is, but I can't function.
My pops is the same way, man. He is no good on no sleep, man. He's just worthless on no sleep.
And like I said, I'm probably gonna struggle this weekend.
Yeah,
but. Man, we got to get this shit in, you know what I'm saying? We're out here grinding at 3 a.m.
What? Yeah.
That's what we do.
My daughter was the same way, man. She'll lay down, and like, as she's gotten into her teenage years, she's gotten a little more where she sleeps a little more, but like, I mean, I'm telling you, man, 4 or 5 hours, she's up.
Man, in my teenage years, it was nothing if I didn't sleep 12 hours a day.
Oh, my brother was the same way. It drove me nuts, man. Drove me nuts. It drove my dad. Like, my dad, oh, my God.
Yeah, same.
It drove him off a cliff. I swear. I thought the man was just going to have a heart attack.
I get it. I understand why it frustrated my father. But at the same time, I was like, man, I just want to sleep.
My brother was the same way, man. It was not uncommon for my brother to go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And be asleep at 6 o'clock the next evening.
Yep.
You know, and you're like, what is going? I was never like that.
I was the exact same way.
Never like that.
Same thing.
The only place that I could sleep a long time was my grandma's house, because she lives in West Texas, so everybody has a basement, because it's just like middle of Tornado Alley. So there's not a house without a basement. But that you spend so much time in the basement that my grandparents were finally like, we're not sitting in a dingy ass like dirt covered floor room, you know, like, we're going to make this a room so that when we go down there, it's just like we're in the house, you know. So this basement was another room. I mean, a TV, bed, or, you know, pull-out sofa, you know, that kind of stuff, just in case you had to spend the night, pull-out sofa. So that's where I stayed, because it was kind of away from everything. That's where I stayed when we went down to visit them. And so it's a basement.
Yeah.
So once you turn the lights off, it's just, there's no windows. There's no anything. It's just, you're underground. And it's naturally cool down there. It can be 100 degrees outside. stays about 60 degrees all the time.
Hell yeah.
You know? So it's pitch black, it's 60 degrees. That's the only place where I would wake up and be like, oh, it's the afternoon. Like, how in the fuck did I get to the afternoon here?
That's the best. That would be amazing.
Yeah. It was great. They put in a it was so funny because outside of my immediate family, the entire family smokes like burning tires. Okay. Like they just that part of the family smokes like burning tires. And so everybody went to the basement. So I mean, they're not going without their cigs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you're in this basement and it looks like Oakley's. You know, it's just from here up, it's smoke. You know, and it's everybody stinks when they come out. So my dad's the one who built the basement for them. So my dad was like, yeah, we're not going to do this. That's not going to happen. So I swear there was enough exhaust fans in that basement, and you could have sucked your hair off your head in that basement. And so it would ran off of one switch, and it sounded like it sounded like a jet taking off in there. Like
Jesus
as
Christ.
soon as everybody started smoking, you just see my dad go and hit the deal, just and like there was not an ounce of smoke that was in that room. He was like, "Yeah, I can't sit in the smoke thing all day."
I like it.
I was like,
that's the same way I'd be. I cannot stand it. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
So you said they live in West, correct?
My parents do, yeah.
How long have they lived there?
Probably, I would guess 6 or 7 years now.
Okay, I was going to ask. I don't remember exactly when the West explosion was. I didn't know if they were involved in all that.
They moved there right after.
Okay.
But so the roommate I was talking about, yeah, that was the one we talked about on the I think the past episode. That he's the one who died.
Yeah.
So that's where he grew up, and his dad actually was just right. Like their house is right there.
Yeah.
Like it's just right there.
I remember seeing the videos of that when that first happened. I was like, holy shit, that explosion.
So his dad lived in a pier and beam house.
Yeah.
Like he lived in a pier and beam house. And when that explosion happened, it basically just picked the house up, moved it over 2 inches, and set it back down.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because when you went underneath the house, because when after the insurance stuff came through and all that, when they went up underneath the house, his house, he had just re-leveled it.